Welcome to our Green Acres. If you are new to my channel, my name is Teresa. In today's video, I'm going to take some dollar store products and I'm going to show you how we can turn them into some really cute Victorian shabby chic Valentines. So y'all sit back. I hope y'all enjoy the video, and as always, I hope y'all get lots of inspiration. The first project, I'm going to show you how I'm going to take a metal galvanized heart that I bought at a consignment thrift store, and I've had this a couple of years, but it's metal, so I'm going to take some handwritten graphics that I downloaded from the Graphics Fairy, and I will link all of my graphics that I use in this video down below. But if you haven't ever been out to the Graphics Fairy website, they have tons of free printables, and they have so many to choose from. So I'm just going to cover the whole heart with Mod Podge. I'm going to place my printable on top, and then I'm just going to work it in those grooves really good with my fingers, and then I'm going to take a pencil, and y'all have seen I use a pencil a lot of times when I have to go into grooves with my Mod Podge, and it works really good. So I'm just working that paper down on it just to secure it to the heart as best I can. And then once I have it on, secured good on the bottom, then I'm going to go over it really good with another layer of Mod Podge on the top. If you haven't joined my Facebook Home Decor page yet, I'd love for you to go over and join it, and also go over and follow me on Instagram, and also go follow me on my Pinterest board. Now we're going to work on covering that little point, and I'm just going to cut a piece off the second printable that I printed, and I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to add some Mod Podge on the bottom, and then once I get it worked into those grooves really good and I get it lined up where I want it, then I'm going to go over it with another layer of Mod Podge on the top. If you are not subscribed to my channel yet, I'd love for you to subscribe and also hit that notification bell so you'll know every time I upload a video. Once everything is dry, I'm going to take my scissors and I'm just going to go around and cut off that excess paper. Then I'm going to take a piece of sandpaper, go along the edges, and just trim it up and smooth it out really good around the edges. Now with this heart being metal, you can do a lot to it as far as you can get magnets and stick things on it, and I'm about to show you how we can make some coffee filter rosettes. I have showed these in previous videos, but I want to show them again because they're a very popular thing that people like to make, and I get a lot of requests on what video it's in. So I'm going to show these again because they make such a great embellishment, and they're so inexpensive to make. So we're going to soak coffee filters in coffee. You let them dry. You want them to be crumpled, and you want to take 3 for a large rosette. So I'm just taking 3 here. You separate them, and you just want to put them together. Gather them in the center, and then you just want to start bunching and shaping into a flower. These come together so easy. They're so easy to make, and I think once you start making them, you'll get addicted to making them and putting them on everything. I love them. And you just secure the back with a little bit of hot glue and flatten it down, and then you can add any embellishment you want to the center. Here's a little button I have. Of course, you can add pearls. So just add, whatever you want to the front. Here I'm just showing you how to make a smaller one. You just want to use 1 coffee filter, you fold it in half and fold it again, and then you do the same thing. You just want to bunch it and shape it with your fingers, and then secure the bottom with a little bit of hot glue and flatten it down. Now on the metal heart, I use 1 large one, and I use 3 of these smaller ones, and I put, I think, some buttons and some pearls on these, and it made such a great embellishment for my heart. Now, if you're not good at making bows, I've showed this in previous projects too. Just take some strips of assorted fabrics, lace, ribbons, whatever you have, lay them down flat and just tie them in the center, and you've got a great little shabby chic bow. Now, I trim it up just a little. I add some vintage keys to it. I'm gluing my little rosettes on, and you'll see how well and cute this come together. Now we're going to make some shabby chic hearts, and I'm using some hearts that I purchased from Dollar Tree last year, and I'm going to cut these apart. These have a little bit of glitter on the back, so this got a little bit messy because I'm not a big glitter fan. But you can pretty much use any hearts you want, any size. Like I say, I'm just going with things that I already have on hand, and I'm not going to use that one because it's got like that little arrow on the sides. So I'm going to use these four, and then I'm just going to peel that backing off as best I can. Then I'm going to take a little bit of sandpaper and sand down any rough edges that may be left. So when I apply my decoupage printable on the back, it'll be smooth when it goes on. The graphics I'm going to use on these hearts I also got from the Graphics Fairy, and I'm going to leave all the links, and then I'm going to give you some extras too. There'll be a lot to choose from, but I'm going to leave the links to all of them down below. And I'm also going to use a graphic that I purchased from a little Etsy store called Olive Rue, and I'll link her Etsy shop down below too. So now I just put some Mod Podge. This is a songbook page that I have. I love decorating with songbook pages. And, I just applied the Mod Podge, and then I'm just working it over my heart and smoothing it out and trying to go over the edges as best I can. Now this heart has scalloped edges, so I just put some Mod Podge over the top of it really good, and while it was wet, I figured out this was the best way to work with those scalloped edges. I just went around it when it was wet, and I just kind of tore it around those little edges, and it worked really good. And then I just go in and kind of smooth them down with my fingers, and I let this dry. Now I'm going to show y'all how we can embellish them. And I'm going to show you again how to make fabric rosettes. I've showed this before in my videos, but this is another popular craft that people love to make. So it's worth, going back over it again. You just want to take some scrap fabric. This is a a strip from an old bed sheet. You just rip it because you want those frayed edges. And you just hot glue. And basically what you want to do is just work your fabric around in a circle. And you want to kind of twist and glue as you go. And the objective of this is you want as much of that little frayed edge up on the top as possible, because that way it gives it that really rustic frayed edge look. So just it looks maybe complicated with me doing it on video, but it's really not. Once you get to making these, again, these become addictive. They're super easy to make and very inexpensive. And you can use just about anything you want. Any kind of scraps, a fabric, lace, ribbon that you have, you can make these cute little rosettes. And you can also cut out a little cardboard circle and glue your fabric onto it and work that as like a little template if you want to. I'm just freehanding these and not using anything as a back. And then I left a little tail on it. I think that just adds another little detail to it. This is an edge off of a flour sack cloth. I just ripped it off when I was making bows and ribbons, and I'm just doing it. It's very frayed. You can also use like the seams. You may rip off your drop cloth. Never throw those away. Save those. They make great ties, and in this case, here we are making rosettes out of them. And this one also, I stained it in coffee. So that's why it's got that aged look. And see what a pretty one this makes. And again, you can embellish these in the center with anything. Pearls, buttons. And so this is what I'm going to use to embellish my hearts that I just decoupaged. And I'm going to do 3 of the small ones on each heart. And I'm going to use some pearls, and I think I may have used some buttons on these. And then also I'm going to show you if you've got some really pretty, pins, straight pins. You know, straight pins, a lot of them have pearl tops. And some of them even have like that little crystal rhinestone look. You'll see in the video when I stage that I use some straight pins on some of them. So now we're going to make some Victorian hang tags. And how many times have we seen this big hang tag? So these are from Dollar General. You can get these at Dollar Tree also. They're $1, of course. And these are the larger ones. And I'm repurposing some that I've already used in previous projects. But I just flipped it over. I chalk painted it linen white. I distressed it with some sandpaper. And also went out and got graphics from the Graphics Fairy. And I just roughed up the edges on this one. And you basically just want to get a little bit of water on your fingers. Just barely wet the paper and just start ripping with your fingertips. I got some leftover coffee grinds and I just kind of distressed my ends on this one. And I've always showed you can make that hole larger to put through, you know, bigger ribbons easily. You can use a screwdriver, your scissors, whatever kind of tool you have, and enlarge that hole and put your ribbon through it or your hanger, whatever you're going to use. And you can use anything for the hanger, you know, twine, ribbon, lace. This is flower sackcloth. And I'm just showing you here the different ways, you know, you can tie your ribbons and hang tags on it. And so this one, I'm going to show you something else you can do just to kind of, you know, add a little bit more flair to this one. This is a stencil set I ordered from Amazon. This will be in my Amazon store, and I will have a link to my Amazon store in my description box. But I'm just going to take the part of it that says France, and I just stencil, you know, France on it at the top really quick. And it adds just another little shabby chic detail to it. Now I'm going to show you real quick candy cane hearts. Get those candy canes out that you had left over from Christmas. Hot glue those together at the top and the bottom. And these make such cute little additions to your Valentine vignettes. These tulips, I got these last year. They are also in my Amazon store. Y'all, if you want some beautiful flowers, these are gorgeous. I just ordered them in white, and I will be featuring them in some upcoming videos, so y'all look out. But anyway, they will be in my Amazon store if you're interested in the tulips. The little heart in the front is one of those little Happy Valentine's wooden hearts I got at Dollar Tree last year. They come in a pack of 6, and I just took another little graphic that I printed out and made a small heart and just added a little vintage key just to give you another little idea for all shapes of hearts that you can use. Also want to mention, because I don't think I said, but I went out and used Gorilla Spray adhesive to apply these, but you could also, of course, use Mod Podge.
What you're putting in, all your hopes and efforts are all in vain. Who will pick you up when you've lost everything? Does it all become for granted with a wedding ring?
I hope y'all enjoyed the video, and I hope you got lots of inspiration. I know a lot of us don't decorate a lot for Valentine's, but making Valentine's crafts to me is one of my favorite things to do. I guess it's one of my favorite seasons for craft making, so I love making Valentines. So I hope y'all will make some of these. I hope you'll go over to my Facebook home decor page, and I hope you'll post pictures of them because I'd love to see them. So I hope y'all enjoyed the video, and remember, I'll have links to the graphics and more. I'm going to give you several to choose from down in my description box, and also I'll have my Amazon store down there. So as always, y'all, I really appreciate y'all for watching. I love you, and I will see y'all, God willing, in my next video.